Hey guys, welcome back to the Joe Silverback Show. Um, been doing a lot of reflecting on the, well, the central theme of spending time in nature, spending time in solitude, spending time in quietude, spending time away from technology and the pulls and distractions of technology. And one of the themes that keeps popping up is this idea of overexcitement and over titillation that our technology continues to draw us into. Whether it's something as simple as spending all one's free time watching movies or videos, or playing video games. We could make a list of each one of our own draws and stimulations to technology. But one thing we can agree on is that we need a break from it. And how do we get the break from it? And when we do get a break from it, how quickly are we going to be bored? And that's one of the central themes I'd like us all to be thinking about this week is how am I so easily bored that I can't spend time alone with myself? How is it that when I do spend time alone with myself, I am attracted to want something more exciting than what I have just with my own thoughts and with my own mind? And even if I bring my girlfriend with me, or vice versa, if you bring your boyfriend with you, or if you bring your mother or your father, your brother, your sister, a friend with you, and you don't have any, and you make an agreement that you don't have any technology that you're going to have on while you're with that other person, how enjoyable can that be for you? Another thing, because it takes a while. I can go back a few years when my oldest son and my middle son and I went on a 4-day trip up the Central Coast. And trust me, this is something they remember more than they remember, skydiving out of airplanes. Even though they remember that, that's very exciting and exhilarating. But family time alone together, or loved one time alone together, that is family, is precious, and it's sacred, and it's special, and we should make time for it. Now, when my two boys and I went, the only way that I agreed to go is if they would not bring their cell phones at all. And we did have an agreement that I would bring my cell phone in case we needed emergencies. And that's what we did. So we had 4 days of zero connection with technology. And immediately the trip became incredible. One of the things that was remarkable is the freedom and spontaneity in which these kind of trips bring out, where you're just driving and you find a cool little spot, and maybe you're going into a cool little cafe or restaurant. For us, we found this place where we hiked in into, it was boy time, right? So outdoors and nature and romping in the outback is something that we adore. And we got lost in a marsh jungle of trees and shrubs and waterways, and that made us rely on something so primitive that we became alive in a way that technology actually deadens us. Very, very important. Another experience I had just recently that tells a tale of why we need to continue to have these conversations is that technology is always promising us something more stimulating than our just dull, boring lives. Yes, I intentionally freeze frame here because I want myself to acknowledge it and you to acknowledge that technology is titillating and stimulating, and it's always geared toward the next high, the next rush, the next big thing. So I went with somebody I care about deeply on a just a day getaway up to what they called a super bloom. We had here in California 2 months of back-to-back rains that is so rare here, and after so long of droughts, the desert bloom was just magnificent this year. It's still going on. And when we got up there was so much traffic that they actually had to block off the exit from the freeway, and this is during a weekday. So you had to go up, way up, get on the back road and come all the way back. And as you're coming back, you've seen this incredible blooms, and if you kept going, it's a good chance you wouldn't find parking, and it's a good chance that it would be all, clustered up there. So we agreed to stop, but the person I was with was anxious to get to where he thought it was bigger and better and more exciting. Now, I have footage of myself just sitting inside a bed of orange California poppies that I could have just stayed right there and had something the equivalent of an LSD trip or just pure floral bliss. And where we were and where he ended up hiking was so magnificent, but in the mind, he wanted something bigger. He wanted something more. And he was determined in his mind to think that there was something bigger, better, and more. And when you're in a field of 1 million poppies blossoming, I'm not sure that 2 million poppies is going to make that big of a difference. Or let me put it another way, it was probably more realistically when we were in a canyon valley with rolling hills of maybe 10 million poppies blooming. Would another area with 11, 12, or 15 million be that much more significant? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it's the concept that we have of more and bigger and better. And it's also the concept of not knowing how to just be with 1 or 2 or 10 million poppies blooming, or just 10 poppies blooming. And that brings me back to the going into nature on a regular basis, and going with ourselves in finding something in our alone time that makes us learn to deeply appreciate beauty and peacefulness and quietude and alone time with our thoughts. Because technology doesn't do that. Technology does the exact opposite. It actually robs us of that. It doesn't allow us to have a simple thought of our own. It replaces our thoughts with the millions of advertisements and titillating, stimulating things that we can connect to, whether it's our Snapchat or our Facebook or our emails or, our computer games, or it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. So sit with the thought of finding a ritualized place and a ritualized way of being alone with your thoughts and alone, hopefully, in nature. And sit with the thought of, secondly, having this solitude with a loved one without any technology. And try that for a month. For 1 month, try spending maybe 1 hour by yourself alone every day without any technology. 1 hour. And secondly, try spending 1 hour with a loved one without any technology. And record it. All right. Send feedback. Share your experiences with us so we can bring that into the conversation. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.